In this video, we go through our process of putting together a sauna kit that we ordered earlier this spring. We ordered the cabin from BZB Cabins and Outdoors, which I found online after quite a bit of research. We went with the tiny modern outdoor sauna kit, the Allure XS. And earlier this day, it arrived on a long flatbed trailer just pulled by a regular truck, and I was able to help the driver unpack the large crate that it came in, and we just unloaded everything into the front yard and carried everything back here to the spot that we had set up. We had previously built this pad, this raised deck for the purpose of holding the sauna. So this is the start of that process. A few things right off the bat with the instructions that came with this kit. First of all, the kits, for the most part, most of the kits are advertised as something that can be built at home by 2 to 4 people, and for this kit in particular, in just a matter of 2 days. We felt that the directions left a lot to the imagination, however, and we struggled in a few different ways. Some in that not all the steps seemed to really be outlined in the directions, so we struggled with starting things and needing to undo them and redo them. Another component is that the kit is European made, and therefore all the screws and tools are not set up super well for people here in the US. However, all that being said, we did find that the customer service of this particular company was it was really exceptional. They did admit that the time it takes to build is primarily based off of their teams going out and building this for you. It seems like that's what most folks do, is hire somebody to build these kits, which made a lot of sense once we got into this project. But again, customer service was great. We were able to call with questions, and he was able to walk us through any of the steps that we were struggling with, which we really liked about this particular company. And then this is where things really got fun, or as you'll see soon, not that fun. But it did start out exciting. We could see what this final product was going to look like. Things seemed to be going together relatively easily. It was looking like the photos. However, once we got to this height, things just started getting a little wonky. We did get the floor in, and that went more or less smoothly. However, we began to notice that the higher up we got on the walls, the less square the whole structure became, and it became pretty apparent that we were going to have a hard time getting the roof pieces on and everything joining up square, which you'll see in just a moment here. attempts at trying to square up this doorway area. We used ratchet straps, and we were trying to pull and push and twist things. What we ended up realizing is that nearly every board was warped, and that it was never going to go up square. At this point, we contacted the company and sent documentation of each and every warped board that was in the kit, and we were assured this was a really rare occurrence, but they were more than willing to work with us and sent us new parts for every single warped piece, and we took it apart and started the process all over again. And we were all happy to find out that it went up super smoothly this second time around, and it was obvious the difference that straight boards made. Things just went together better, they stayed square, things went in smoothly, and it was a much more positive experience this time around. So we are on our take number 2 of building this sauna. We just got a shipment of replacement pieces for all the warped boards. And as we're putting it together, I realized that we have a lot of extra of these long boards now. And because our problem with the last one was when we got to the very top, it was really hard to make sure that that top board fit evenly across. So since we have extra ones, I had the idea to take some of the extra to every few boards, do a full length across to make sure that everything is meeting as it should still, and when it comes time we'll just saw off the insides there, and you won't see it anyway because that's where the door and molding is going to go, but this way we can really make sure that everything is square up to the top when we do the roof rafters. The other thing we're doing to hopefully help a little bit is we're adding this 2x2 board to the inside corner and screwing it from both sides just to keep everything level and straight as we go up. When we talked to the person at the company where we purchased this, Sigmar, this was his suggestion. He said when he builds the ones that have the full doors, he uses this method just to keep everything square moving forward, or moving up. So he's been so helpful. We're really appreciative of him and his willingness to send us replacement parts. So far we can see an obvious difference from our first time building this. Having warped boards really did affect our first build, and so far it's just going together so much better.
Was it 30 total?
I think it was over 30 boards. So big difference. Definitely a headache nonetheless.
Day 5.
But going well, and I think adding these cross supports is gonna hopefully help us when we get to the top. So our next step is we're gonna add another one of those 2x2s here on the other side of the front, just to make sure everything is staying nice and level and square, and all the boards are tight as they can be. one just went in. Next step is onion room roof.
Yep, next step is the roof.
And slicing these off. We are going to install the benches before we put the windows and doors in, just so we have a little bit more maneuverability. But this went up really well. Do you have to get my end up?
We need to move this. Okay. Oh, cool.
I figured they made it so that it's...
Had a little give.
we chose a wood stove for our sauna kit. When we ordered, we were able to pick what type of stove we wanted, whether wood stove or electric, and then the type. There were, I think, 2 options available to us. I read good things about this particular model, so that is what that kit was used for. And the directions, there were not specific directions that came with the sauna kit for installing the wood stove, but we were able to find just pretty specific directions online, both on the website for the stove itself, as well as a YouTube video, which we will link in the description, that we found particularly helpful. But hopefully this video will also be helpful to you, although we are not professional stove installers and had never done this before.
This kit didn't come with any screws, and the sheet metal screws that we have for the roof are too long. They're supposed to go into studs. And since there's no studs on here, they would go through into the sauna. So we got these 3/4 inch sheet metal screws and then put on the roofing screw washers. So that's gonna hold this boot down and then not go through into the sauna.
Made it to the few final steps of setting up the sauna. The lava rocks came with the kit. You can order, I think it gave an option for 2 different amounts. We went with 90 pounds, and those just go in with the larger rocks at the bottom, the smaller rocks towards the top. We did also opt for getting a sauna oil to finish the interior, so we did start a small fire to get the sauna up to temp, and then apply the oil before curing it for a longer time frame at a higher heat. One of the most important components of a properly working sauna is proper ventilation. Unfortunately, the instructions that came with the sauna kit said nothing about the vent pieces that came with the kit, but we were able to just kind of look around the internet and watch other people's sauna videos to figure out the best locations for these vents. So you do want one that is low and close to your heat source, and then on the opposite wall you want another vent high, so that way you have good air intake by your heat source and then just airflow throughout.